Good day and welcome. I'm Willis Turner with SMEI. Today, we're going to do a deep dive on how to sell during a trade war. I hope you enjoy the content, and if you'd like more like this, join us at smei.org.
All right, so we're diving deep today into some fascinating stuff you sent over about sales pros navigating trade wars. And we've got a case study that's all about turning obstacles into advantages. We're talking about a company selling heavy-duty construction equipment. Not exactly the most agile industry.
No, not really.
And how one salesman, Timothy Long, at Titan Machinery, not only kept his head above water during a major trade war, but helped his company double sales in new markets.
Double.
This is your playbook on how diversification, supply chain savvy, and a whole lot of digital strategy can help you thrive even when the global trade winds are blowing against you.
It's amazing, right, how we often overlook the human impact of these massive economic shifts. Trade wars aren't just abstract headlines. They directly hit the sales professionals on the ground.
Who are trying to build relationships and close deals in an increasingly complex landscape.
And that's what makes Timothy's story so compelling.
Yeah.
Imagine tariffs hit, international sales plummet, and suddenly your whole sales strategy needs a reboot.
Wow, that's a problem.
Most would panic.
Oh, for sure.
But not Timothy.
Interesting.
He saw this as a chance to diversify. Shifting his focus away from those tariff-heavy markets to explore South America and Africa.
Makes sense.
He didn't just send a few emails either.
Oh, really?
He hopped on a plane.
Wow.
And went to trade expos in Brazil and Kenya.
Really?
To forge partnerships in person.
Wow, that's commitment.
Who would have thought construction equipment sales would be booming in Kenya?
I wouldn't have thought that.
This is a brilliant example of risk mitigation, right?
Absolutely.
When you're facing uncertainty in your core markets, it's essential to spread that risk.
By identifying emerging economies that are less affected by the specific trade war.
You need to find...
Thorough market research is key here.
Oh, absolutely.
Allowing you to pinpoint regions with a growing need for your product or service.
Exactly.
And you're right. Trade shows are invaluable for making those face-to-face connections and building trust in new markets.
You have to have that trust.
But diversifying markets was just the first hurdle. Remember those tariffs jacking up the price of materials? Timothy realized he needed to optimize Titan's entire supply chain. What's interesting here is that he didn't just look for cheaper materials. He saw it as an opportunity to completely rethink their sourcing and manufacturing strategy.
Wow. So like a total overhaul.
He found alternative suppliers in tariff-exempt countries like Vietnam and Mexico.
Makes sense.
But then took it even further.
Oh, he didn't stop there.
He recommended nearshoring their manufacturing.
Nearshoring.
Setting up a facility in Mexico.
Interesting.
This is a trend we're seeing more and more, especially in times of global uncertainty.
It's
Companies are realizing that having production closer to their customers not only cuts down on shipping costs,
makes sense,
but also provides greater control over the manufacturing process and reduces reliance on potentially volatile supply chains in far-off countries.
You just don't know what's going to happen.
Nearshoring wasn't just a buzzword for Timothy. It was a strategic move to sidestep trade barriers and gain a competitive advantage.
It's thinking ahead.
Think about it. Shorter lead times, lower transportation costs, and the ability to react more quickly to changes in demand. That's a win-win.
Totally.
But he didn't stop there. He recognized that in a world where tariffs and travel restrictions were becoming more common, digital sales channels were essential. I mean, think about it. Even if you can't get on a plane easily, you can still reach potential customers around the world with the right digital strategy.
That's where the agility comes in.
That's where the agility of digital platforms really shines.
Exactly.
Timothy knew Titan Machinery needed to up its game online. He spearheaded a complete overhaul of their website.
A revamp.
Optimizing it for international SEO, adding multilingual support, and essentially building a virtual showroom.
Wow.
for their equipment.
That's a great idea.
He also launched targeted ad campaigns on platforms like LinkedIn, going directly to decision makers in overseas construction firms.
Wow. He was really going for it.
He went all in on making sure that no matter where you were in the world, if you were looking for heavy-duty construction equipment, Titan Machinery would top up.
I like it.
He essentially created a digital safety net for the company's sales efforts.
That's smart.
It was a brilliant recognition of how the digital landscape was changing the game for sales professionals.
Things are changing so fast.
Building that strong online presence wasn't just a nice to have anymore.
Right.
It was essential for reaching customers and maintaining a competitive edge in a global market that was becoming increasingly fragmented.
Yeah, it's like everything's splitting up.
But it wasn't just about flashy websites and digital marketing.
Right.
Timothy knew that when you're entering new territories, especially during a trade war, compliance is absolutely key.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
He made sure Titan Machinery met all the certification requirements for each new market they were entering, working closely with experts to ensure they were dotting every I and crossing every T.
I see. So he was very careful.
Compliance is often overlooked.
Yeah.
But it's a critical foundation.
It really is.
For building trust and demonstrating professionalism in new markets.
You want to make a good impression.
It can be tempting to cut corners.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're eager to get your products out there, but neglecting compliance can lead to costly delays, reputational damage, and even legal ramifications down the line.
Yeah, you don't want any of that.
Timothy knew that building trust with international customers takes time and effort.
It's not an overnight thing.
And compliance is a crucial part of that process.
Right. You got to get it right.
He wasn't just trying to close a deal.
Yeah.
He was building long-term relationships based on transparency and reliability.
Yeah, it's the foundation.
That's a key distinction for sales professionals. Especially when navigating the complexities of trade wars.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's not just about getting your foot in the door. It's about establishing a presence that is sustainable and built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect.
Exactly. You got to have both of those.
And that brings us to one of the most impactful strategies.
Okay.
Timothy employed strategic partnerships.
Interesting.
Instead of trying to conquer new markets single-handedly, he realized that collaboration was key.
Okay.
In Kenya, he formed a joint venture with a local industrial supplier.
Oh, wow.
Immediately gaining access to their existing distribution network and market knowledge.
Right.
A brilliant shortcut, right?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Partnerships are incredibly powerful for overcoming trade barriers by leveraging the local expertise and established relationships of a partner.
Yeah.
You can navigate complex regulations, bypass import restrictions, and gain a much faster foothold
That's smart.
in a new market.
Yeah, why try to do everything yourself?
And in Brazil, Timothy secured a licensing agreement with a local manufacturer to produce Titan's equipment under their brand.
Interesting.
Completely sidestepping those pesky tariffs.
So he's avoiding those tariffs left and right?
I mean, talk about thinking outside the box.
Yeah, that's clever.
This wasn't about giving away his company's secrets.
Right.
It was about finding win-win solutions that benefited everyone involved.
That's the best kind of solution.
It's a shift from a competitive mindset to a collaborative one. And it's essential for success in a globalized world.
It really is.
By pooling resources and sharing knowledge, you can achieve far more than you could alone.
Absolute teamwork makes the dream work.
But in a world where everyone is trying to undercut each other,
yeah, it's so competitive.
How did Timothy make sure Titan Machinery stood out?
That's a good question.
He focused on value differentiation. Instead of getting caught up in price wars.
Makes sense.
He knew that competing solely on price was a race to the bottom.
Yeah, you can't always be the cheapest.
So he bundled service packages with Titan's equipment,
Smart.
offering training maintenance and extended warranties.
So it's like a whole package.
Everything to give buyers peace of mind.
That's a good idea.
And make Titan's products stand out from those cheaper competitors.
That's a good way to differentiate yourself.
It's about shifting the customer's focus from the initial price tag to the long-term value they're getting. Think about it.
Okay.
If you're investing in heavy-duty construction equipment, you're You're not just buying a machine.
Right.
You're buying reliability.
That's true.
Support. And peace of mind.
It's a big investment.
That your investment is protected.
You want to make sure it's going to last.
It's like choosing a trusted mechanic.
Yeah.
Over the cheapest quick fix shop.
Yeah.
You're paying for expertise. And long-term peace of mind.
Absolutely. You get what you pay for.
Exactly.
And in an uncertain global landscape, that sense of security and reliability becomes even more valuable to customers.
Absolutely. People want to know they can count on you.
Exactly.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back with more.
Sounds good.
And to top it all off, Timothy was savvy enough to tap into government programs.
Oh, interesting.
Designed for exporters.
Yeah.
He knew that governments often have resources in place.
Right.
To help businesses navigate the choppy waters of international trade.
Yeah, it can be tough out there.
Especially during times of economic uncertainty.
Oh, for sure.
It's surprising how many businesses overlook.
I know, right?
These valuable resources.
Yeah, they're just not aware.
Governments often offer export financing.
Right.
Trade credit insurance. And even market research assistance.
Oh, that's helpful.
To companies looking to expand their global reach.
So there's really a lot of support out there.
Timothy secured export financing.
Okay.
To ease the financial burden of expanding into new markets.
Makes sense.
And he also utilized trade credit insurance to mitigate the risks of non-payment from foreign buyers.
Yeah, it's smart.
He was essentially using every tool in the toolbox.
He was doing his homework.
To ensure Titan Machinery's success.
And it paid off.
So let's break down what we've learned so far.
Okay.
We've got market diversification, supply chain optimization, a killer digital strategy, a laser focus on compliance, strategic partnerships that open doors.
I like it.
And a commitment to value over just slashing prices.
That's key.
And in smart use of government resources.
Right.
And it's no wonder Titan Machinery didn't just survive the trade war.
Yeah.
They thrived.
They did more than survive.
Within 2 years.
Wow.
They doubled sales in those new markets.
That's incredible.
And even reduced production costs by 20%.
That's amazing.
It's a masterclass in adaptability.
It really is.
And a perfect example of how a strategic mindset can turn a seemingly insurmountable challenge into a period of incredible growth.
It's all about perspective.
But it's not just about the numbers, right? This is about a sales professional who refused to let circumstances define his limits.
He took control.
What really struck me was his emphasis on building genuine relationships, even amidst the chaos of a trade war.
That's impressive. That focus on building trust and fostering collaboration was key to Timothy's success.
He knew that in times of uncertainty, people crave stability and reliability.
Yeah, they need something to hold on to.
And he positioned Titan Machinery as a partner they could depend on.
Smart.
He wasn't just selling equipment. He was selling peace of mind.
Exactly.
But I'm curious, did his success change the way Titan Machinery operated as a whole?
That's a good question.
Did they learn from Timothy's experience?
I would hope so.
And adapt their overall approach to international sales?
It would be a shame to waste all that knowledge.
Absolutely.
Timothy's story became a case study within the company.
So it took it seriously.
They realized that his approach wasn't just a fluke. It was a blueprint.
A roadmap.
For navigating the complexities of a global marketplace.
So he didn't just win new business.
Yeah.
He changed the way the entire company thought about selling globally.
That's impressive.
What kind of changes did they make?
Well, they actually implemented formal training programs.
Oh, wow.
Based on Timothy's approach.
So they codified it.
Equipping their entire sales force with the skills and knowledge to handle international markets.
That's smart.
They understood that if one salesperson could achieve these kinds of results, imagine what a whole team could do with the right guidance and support.
So they recognized that talent is great.
Yeah.
But talent multiplied by a solid system is where the real magic happens.
It's all about the system.
They didn't just hope everyone would magically become Timothy. They created a structure to support that kind of strategic thinking.
Yeah, you need that framework.
Exactly.
And they didn't stop there.
What else did they do?
They restructured their sales teams to focus on regional expertise.
So like specialists?
Creating dedicated units, specializing in South America, Africa, and other emerging markets.
They recognized that deep knowledge of those specific regions was essential for success.
You can't just treat every market the same.
Exactly.
And they started investing heavily in market research and analysis.
So data-driven decisions.
To make data-driven decisions about where to focus their efforts.
Makes sense.
Anticipating future trends rather than just reacting to current events.
It sounds like they transformed from a company that was caught off guard by the trade war
reactive
to one that was proactively seeking out new opportunities.
Yeah, much more proactive.
In a constantly changing global landscape.
That's the way to be.
But what about Timothy?
Yeah, what happened to him?
Did this experience change his career trajectory?
Oh, absolutely.
In what way?
He quickly rose through the ranks.
No surprise there.
At Titan Machinery and became a sought-after speaker and consultant, sharing his insights on navigating trade wars.
Makes sense.
And achieving global growth.
So he became the expert.
He even published a book.
Oh, wow.
Detailing his strategies.
That's awesome.
Which became a bestseller.
No kidding.
Among sales professionals worldwide.
Talk about turning lemons into lemonade.
Yeah, he really made the most of it.
But beyond the accolades and career success, I'm curious about the personal impact.
Yeah.
Did going through this experience change him on a deeper level?
That's an interesting question.
He often talks about how it fundamentally shifted his perspective.
Oh, really?
On challenges and setbacks.
How so?
He learned to view obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth and innovation.
That's a good way to look at it.
It solidified his belief in the power of adaptability, resourcefulness, and a positive mindset.
Yeah, you need all three of those.
So he didn't just learn new sales strategies.
Right.
He developed a whole new way of approaching challenges.
That's profound.
In all aspects of his life.
It's like a life lesson.
It's like that saying,
what's up?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Precisely.
And his story is a powerful reminder that even in the face of global economic turmoil, there are always opportunities. For those who are willing to adapt, think creatively, and persevere.
You got to keep going. His journey is incredibly inspiring.
It is.
But I'm curious, for those of us who aren't selling heavy machinery, what are the broader takeaways?
Good question.
From Timothy's experience?
Yeah. What can we all learn from this?
What can we learn from his approach that applies to anyone facing challenges in their career or business?
I think one of the biggest lessons is the importance of diversifying your skill set and your approach.
So not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Just like Timothy expanded into new markets.
Right.
We should all be constantly learning, adapting, and seeking out new ways to add value.
You got to stay relevant.
So it's about having multiple tools in your toolbox.
That's a good analogy.
So you're prepared for whatever challenges come your way.
Yeah, be ready for anything.
Exactly.
And it's about building strong relationships.
And partnerships.
Right.
Timothy's success wasn't just about his individual efforts. It was about the collaborative network he built.
He understood that success is rarely a solo endeavor.
Especially in a globalized world.
And finally, it's about having a growth mindset.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
Timothy didn't let the trade war define him.
Right.
He used it as a springboard to learn, adapt, and ultimately thrive.
He turned a negative into a positive.
That resilience and determination are essential for anyone navigating a rapidly changing world.
You got to be able to roll with the punches.
It's incredibly inspiring to see how one person's initiative and an ingenuity can have such a ripple effect.
It's amazing.
Not just on their own career, but on an entire company and even an industry.
It's like a butterfly effect.
It's a testament to the power of human adaptability.
It really is.
And a reminder that even in the face of global economic headwinds, there are always opportunities.
For growth and innovation.
You just got to look for them.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
But we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more?
Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive.
Ready.
Where we'll explore the lasting impact of Timothy's journey.
Sounds good.
And the lessons we can all take away from his experience.
I'm looking forward to it.
Welcome back. We've been talking about Timothy Long, a sales pro at Titan Machinery, who turned a trade war from a threat into a triumph.
Right.
Not just for himself, but for the whole company.
Yeah, he really made a difference.
It's a story that proves you don't need to be a multinational giant
to
thrive in a global market.
Sometimes it's the small guys who are more nimble.
Sometimes all it takes is one person with a strategic mindset and the willingness to shake things up.
You got to be willing to try new things.
It's fascinating how Timothy's experience became a catalyst for change within Titan Machinery.
It's like he sparked a revolution.
His success wasn't just celebrated. It was analyzed, dissected, and turned into a roadmap for the entire organization.
Wow. So they really took it to heart.
They took his playbook
and
made it company-wide policy.
So it's like his legacy.
Talk about a legacy.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's one thing to have a personal win, but to actually shift the entire company culture towards adaptability and global thinking.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's impressive.
It is.
What were some of the key changes they made?
Well, they formalized Timothy's approach into actual training programs.
So they created a system?
Equipping their entire sales force with the tools and knowledge to tackle international markets.
That's smart.
They understood that if one salesperson could achieve these kinds of results, imagine what a whole team could do.
Yeah, the potential is huge.
With the right guidance and support.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's about empowering people.
It's like they recognize that talent is great. But talent multiplied by a solid system is where the real magic happens.
You got to have both.
They didn't just hope everyone would magically become Timothy. They created a structure to support that kind of strategic thinking.
Yeah, you need that framework.
Exactly.
And they didn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
They restructured their sales teams.
How?
To focus on regional expertise.
So like specialized teams.
Building dedicated units for South America, Africa, and other key emerging markets.
They recognized that a one-size-fits-all approach wouldn't cut it in a globalized world.
You got to tailor your approach.
Makes sense. You can't just parachute in with the same tactics you used in your home market.
What works in one place might not work in another.
And expect the same results.
Exactly.
It's about understanding the cultural nuances, the business practices, the specific challenges of each region.
You got to do your homework.
Absolutely.
They also made a significant investment in market research and analysis.
So data-driven decisions.
Ensuring their decisions were driven by data, not just gut feeling.
That's smart.
They learned from Timothy's example to anticipate future trends rather than simply reacting to the latest crisis.
So they moved from playing defense to playing offense.
Exactly.
Actively seeking out opportunities.
Proactive instead of reactive.
Instead of waiting for them to appear.
Yeah, be the one who makes things happen.
It's like they traded their firefighting gear for a telescope.
I like that analogy.
Looking ahead to where the market was heading.
That's a great way to put it.
That shift in perspective is crucial.
It is.
For any organization looking to not only survive, but thrive in today's volatile global environment.
Things are changing so fast.
It's all about embracing a mindset of continuous learning. And adaptation.
Never stop learning.
But let's zoom back in on Timothy himself. We've talked about his impact on Titan Machinery. But how did this experience shape him personally?
It must have been transformative.
What lessons did he carry forward?
Well, he often talks about how this whole ordeal solidified his belief in the power of a growth mindset.
So it wasn't just about acquiring new skills or knowledge. It was about embracing challenges as opportunities for learning and development.
Yeah, seeing the positive and the negative.
So instead of seeing the trade war as a setback, he saw it as a crash course.
A masterclass.
In resilience and resourcefulness.
Exactly. He turned a negative into a positive.
It also reinforced his belief in the power of collaboration and building strong relationships. He understood that success wasn't just about individual brilliance. It was about leveraging the collective knowledge and experience of a team.
The power of teamwork.
He wasn't just a lone wolf out there. He was building bridges and creating a network of support.
Yeah, surrounding himself with the right people.
That helped him navigate those choppy waters.
It's all about having a good team.
His story is a powerful reminder that we don't have to face challenges alone.
Absolutely.
There's strength in seeking out mentors, collaborators, and partners who can offer different perspectives and support our growth.
Find people who challenge you and support you.
It's like that old saying.
What's that?
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
That's the big question.
What can they learn from Timothy's journey that they can apply to their own careers and businesses,
right,
regardless of their industry.
It's all about this universal principle.
I think the biggest takeaway is that adaptability is no longer a nice to have.
Right.
It's a must have.
It's essential.
We're living in a world of constant disruption. And the ability to learn, evolve, and pivot quickly is essential for success.
You got to be able to change with the times.
It's not about waiting for someone to tell you what to do.
Right.
It's about being proactive, seeking out new knowledge, and experimenting with different approaches.
Don't be afraid to try new things.
Exactly.
And remember, challenges aren't always roadblocks. They can be springboards to something greater.
I like that.
Like Timothy, we all have the potential to turn adversity into advantage if we embrace a growth mindset and refuse to be defined by our limitations.
Don't let setbacks hold you back.
Exactly.
This deep dive has been a fantastic reminder.
It has.
That sometimes the greatest opportunities are hidden within the toughest challenges.
They got to look for the silver lining.
So what's one seemingly unmovable aspect of your business or career that might actually be a gateway to unexpected growth?
That's a good question.
Could a shifted perspective, a dose of creativity, or a willingness to collaborate unlock possibilities you haven't even considered yet?
It's all about thinking outside the box.
Keep those questions in mind as you navigate your own journey.
That's good advice.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
I like it.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive on how to sell during a trade war. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you'd like more like this, join as a member at smei.org.